All right, hey Vikings fans, welcome in to another episode of the Skol Hop. I'm Evan.
I'm Austin.
We're just a couple of dudes from Iowa. We like drinking beer, talking about the Vikings.
Yep, we do. And this one's not the beer that we drank on the episode, but it's only a different beer because the one we had was so good. We finished them all.
Yeah, and we did not enjoy a Vikings victory.
Yeah.
But we covered some of the reasons behind their loss.
Yep, and as I suffered the wrath of the purple punishments, we also talked about how injuries are tearing this Vikings team apart right now.
Yeah, hopefully we can get some of those guys back. Hopefully this 2-week stint in Europe can end with a victory, even though it started with a loss. I still have some hope, some optimism. Wherever you're at, grab a cold one. Join us for episode 107 of the Skol Hop.
Skol.
Skol. All right, we're going to give a shout out to Big Top Ventures for sponsoring today's episode. If you're looking to take an all-inclusive trip to either Mexico or Jamaica, we're going to have their email right down here. If you're not watching us, it's bigtopventuresllc@gmail.com. Send them an email, let them know when you're looking to go on your trip and what you're looking to do, and we can guarantee you that they will hook you up with the best possible rates on an all-inclusive trip. So step right up to your next big adventure with Big Top Ventures.
Yeah, someday you will do that. Another thing you'll do someday, hopefully soon, is we will order from our another show sponsor, That's Badass Wood Art. So you can see here, I am holding up one of my favorite man cave pieces here. It's a wonderful piece of art made out of wood that is made by That's Badass Wood Art. This one says Skol with the nice cutout of Minnesota in the O there. But if you go to that'sbadasswoodart.com, you will see many, many, many different options of other pieces of art made out of wood. And they even do custom pieces too. So if you contact them and work with them, they do custom pieces. And honestly, for like high quality handmade art that you can display anywhere, pricing's not bad. It's requisite of their work, but it's really not bad. It's not out of reach for anybody else. And if you're looking for a deal, you can go to their website and use the code SKOLHOP, all one word, SKOLHOP, and that will give you a 10% off discount for any and all orders, whether it's pre-made stuff or custom stuff. And it doesn't have to be Vikings. It can be movies or other teams or anything. So thank you. That's Badass Wood Art.
Did you know that I've been putting that down at the bottom too?
Oh, really? Nice, yeah. Nice. Yeah. So if you're watching us, you probably saw that discount code and whatever else you put in their website or whatever else.
Yep, just their website and the discount code. But
nice.
Yeah, super just quality stuff. Like this is not a cheapo like Temu purchase. This is quality craftsmanship right here. Yeah. And I can attest to that. So
I also know, not really directly related to the Skol Hop, but if you follow That's Badass Wood Art on definitely Twitter, but any of the other socials, they're really good about doing giveaways throughout the football season. So it's one of those, retweet the post and like it and stuff like that, and then you can be entered in a giveaway. So, and most of the giveaways end up being this Skol piece, because I think he cranks out just a ton of these Skol pieces, and they look really good. So yeah, check them out for sure.
They're cool. Well, guess what I get to check out today?
I don't know what you mean. We got some good beer here. We should probably just skip everything we were gonna do.
No, I get to check out you spinning the wheel of purple punishments. I mean, I get to spin it because
it's on your computer.
It's here, but I'm gonna
someday
spin it.
We should get like
on
an
your
actual
behalf.
wheel.
Should we?
Yeah.
Like a physical one and not a digital one?
That'd be kind of cool.
All
Maybe.
Right. Next year.
Yeah, maybe.
Next year. We'll see what the budget allows for.
Well, actually, if we just want to stop everything we were doing and I can take the time to go and order one online right now instead of whatever else we were about to do.
Maybe if you land on win an eBay auction, you could win one.
I could.
On an eBay auction.
It would have to be Vikings related, though. I don't know if that's in the rules, but that's...
It's like an unwritten rule kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Because I did get that cool Jordan Addison card last year.
Yeah, you did.
Because I spun that one.
Where is that, by the way?
It's in here somewhere. I don't know.
So, yes, I did predict a Vikings win when we made our preseason picks. I predicted a Vikings win in Dublin against the Steelers. Obviously, I'm an idiot, and I don't know what I'm talking about, so the Vikings lost. And you avoided the purple punishment. I did not avoid it. Unless you have anything else to say, I think we just need to get this over with.
All right, let's do it. Today, your purple punishment is to double it. So we're going to spin it again, and whatever we land on, you have to do it twice. Or twice the amount.
You're welcome for taking this one off the wheel for you.
All right, so we're taking that off the wheel.
Or should we leave that? Should that just be in
We can always
perpetuity?
put it back on.
Yeah, okay.
But whatever we do now, you're going to have to double it.
Double it. I swear.
Oh,
how does this work?
So I think we could do this one of a few different ways, I think you could wear it this episode and next episode.
Okay. So have we said it? So it's
Sorry.
I have to wear a Lions jersey, which is
part.
just the worst. So we do have multiple jerseys here. I could double the jerseys and wear,
But then you
one
cover
side.
one up and
then
I don't know.
do the other.
I think we got to wear it 2 weeks in a row.
All right. Well, okay. First things first. I'm going to put this jersey on. At least it's a TJ Hawkinson jersey.
I was going to say there is a silver lining, although silver is part of their color scheme, which is unfortunate. But the silver lining is that it is a 88 TJ Hawkinson Lions jersey.
I was just thinking I should just turn this inside out, but I think that would probably go against the nature of the punishment.
You got to do it. You got to do it.
Ugh. This just looks wrong.
Pull it down. Come on.
I don't know. So, all right. I'm trying to think. I think the easiest double it is wear this for 2 weeks in a row.
That's what I'm gonna say.
All right. Yep. We'll just make it easy. That's what it'll be. So keep your eyes peeled.
Now next week, we both predicted the Vikings win. So if for some reason they lose, which please, Lord, no. But if for some reason they lose, we would both spin the wheel. You'll have to wear that and do whatever it is we land on next week.
I might just have to spill some beer on this tonight. But that would be a disgrace to beer.
And I would wash it for you anyways. It's fine.
This is awful. I just want to say, while wearing this jersey, it should be known, too, that Lions fans are currently the worst fans in the entire league. They're the worst, and I despise the team, the Lions, and that's all I have to say. I feel like a clown for wearing this thing right now, but at least it's a TJ Hawkinson jersey.
Let's drink some beer so you can forget about what you're wearing.
Let's drown everything. All right, so the beer tonight. Evan, you go ahead. I'm a little flustered right now wearing this thing. So go ahead, tell us what we're drinking tonight.
Who knew wearing a jersey could completely wreck your night?
It's yeah. What do we got?
We've got Gezellig Brewing Company. We went to Gezellig on our first brew hop, not this past summer, but last summer, which is in Newton, Iowa. And you have their backyard beer, which is a session hazy IPA, 4.8%.
Yeah.
Looks pretty solid.
Yeah. Can art's pretty cool. Looks like a backyard, little fence and tree and nice grass. And yeah, I thought the session hazy to go along with only being 4.8 is pretty intriguing. And we do record this on work nights, so 4.8 is probably going to be pretty nice to us. I'm pretty sure I haven't tried this. Have you tried this?
I have not. Nope. So I'm excited to pour it up and give it a shot.
I am looking forward to it. We did on the Brew Hop 1.0. We did go to Gezellig.
Yep.
What?
You must be flustered because I just mentioned that.
Yeah. Okay. Is it? Did you also say that it's really close to the Maytag?
I did not say that, but it is in Newton, Iowa, and Newton, Iowa is famous for being home to the original Maytag factory. I think they've moved most Maytag operations out of Newton now, but the old original Maytag factory is kind of like in the same complex, there's like a pavilion outside. I don't know how else to describe it.
Yeah, the area looked pretty cool.
And we walked kind of like right alongside the old Maytag building to get to Gezellig, which is just this kind of cool little bar. There was another bar right next door to it, but yeah, cool little spot. Really good beer. This one smells great already. I can just smell the hoppiness, and I know that it's a beer that you're gonna like, and I'll like it too because I like a hoppy beer.
I feel like we've had a handful recently where pretty much once you open the can, you're getting that nice aroma of whatever that beer is. And this one is very similar. It's got a really nice, light, hazy color, like almost creamy looking, not too dark, pretty nice. Good head retention.
Yeah.
We both had what I would say pretty awesome pours. Although now it's going to have to die down for a second. But I'm excited. Let's give this one a try.
Skol. It was a good tap, too.
It was.
I got a little beer mustache from the foam there. That's a good beer, though.
That is solid. Really nice and light and refreshing. Good flavor.
It's been really hot, too.
Yeah.
Like unseasonably hot for the end of September. So this beer, it just hits the spot right now. It was like darn near 90 degrees today here in eastern Iowa. I was outside at my team's practice until like 5:30 this afternoon, and it was just hot. And I remember thinking to myself, man, I'm ready to go home and drink a nice cold beer. And this hits the spot. So nice pick.
Yeah, thanks. Good job, Gezellig. We really enjoy this one. We'll give it some more love here towards the end of the episode after we finished most of 2 here. Our TikTok that we just posted before recording has already got a couple hundred views, so
nice.
that's doing pretty good too. Shameless plug, if you want to see our TikTok, go check us out at the Skol Hop on TikTok, and a lot of injury videos that are unfortunate for the players who get injured in these games, but sickos like me love to watch those. So we got the most recent unfortunate Tyreek Hill injury out there on our page, so go check that out if you're into stuff like that. But if you're not, and you just are here for the Vikings content, I guess now is the time that we jump into it.
We probably should. It was a tough one to watch, and honestly, I didn't watch the whole thing. At this point, I've seen the highlights. I know the outcome. I understand what happened. It was a tough game, and it seems like this season is going to be a roller coaster. It's just going to be this up and down. You know, we never know as fans what we're going to get going into a game. If we're going to get this, blowout offense that we got last week against the Bengals and that shutdown defense, or if we're going to get this, we'll just let Kenneth Gainwell run for 100 yards. Aaron Rodgers can just literally stand there untouched and go, that guy. I'll just put it right in his hands, You just never know, I guess, with this Vikings team. And we got the unfortunate side. It did look like they were going to come back. In fact, I was frustrated. There was that near interception with a minute left, and I turned the TV off in frustration. My wife and I were watching it together. I turned it off. I'm like, well, there's the game. And I went down to the kitchen, and I pulled up my phone just to check ESPN. I'm like, I better make sure. And I'm like, no, that wasn't an interception. Turn it back on. Turn it back on. And I went back upstairs, and I'm like, okay, come on, we've got this. And it just seemed like the Vikings did everything possible to lose that game, and the Steelers put everything out in front. Mike Tomlin made a few coaching faux pas, I thought. The Steelers defense was kind of helping the Vikings out a little bit. And then the Vikings just pissed it away in the end. And that's kind of how it went.
It didn't make any sense that last drive of the Steelers, when all they had to do was just kind of run it out and get enough first downs to really end the game. It seemed like they made a couple of poor decisions. Bad clock management. There was like a 3rd and 1 a 4th and 1 that I thought they could have gone for it or even tried to kick a field goal, and they just didn't. And I kept saying, like, what is happening? Like, it seemed like the Steelers were trying their best to keep the Vikings in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And then that last drive for the Vikings that ultimately didn't go anywhere, but that interception was only not an interception because there was that slight bobble at the end. Otherwise, it was a great play by the defender and should have. I mean, replay really showed that it was clear that it wasn't an interception, but only barely. And then, the Vikings just couldn't get it figured out. The big thing was that delay of game. Yeah. Apparently, Kevin O'Connell mentioned something about how they found out. He said something like about 3 minutes before kickoff that the one, or maybe even both, the play clock, physical clocks at the end of the fields. I don't know if it was both sides weren't on or if just one side wasn't on. And
I feel like if both sides weren't on, that would have affected both teams throughout the game.
Yeah, but I do think even if it's just the one side, that still affects both teams because you go
at different points in the game. Yes.
So, I mean, KOC, his quotes that I only read, I didn't hear it, so I'm hearing it basically not in the right context, but it did seem like he was throwing that as a major reason for the missed drive at the end of the game. This team is really frustrating right now. You said it earlier. There's a lot of injuries and a lot of like weird injuries where it's like, well, he might be out a week or 2 or like 6 weeks. Or, well, I guess I don't really know what the backup's doing or what the plan is. J.J. McCarthy made the trip to Dublin and now London. Today they flew over to London. So, like, I would expect, if it's just an ankle at this point, JJ needs to be out there. And I know that that's really a poor sentence on my part because, like, I'm not the one with the ankle sprain or the injury. But, like, you got to think, if they were about to play the Super Bowl and he had that ankle injury, he'd be doing everything he could to get back on the field. This team is really frustrating, and I don't see the light at the end of the tunnel for, we just need Blake Cashman back, and then everything will be great. Like, it's just, we got 7 guys that we say that about, and it just keeps getting worse and worse.
And I think the biggest culprit, more than anything, and you alluded to it, is the injuries, right? Like, this offensive line, there was that tweet that was going around. I forget which account was circulating this, but the offensive line that the Vikings assembled in the offseason hasn't played together at all.
Yeah.
That, like, awesome starting line with Ryan Kelly and Donovan Jackson and Kristen Darisaw and Brian O'Neill, and I'm forgetting the other one. But that group of 5 hasn't played together yet. Like, somebody's been injured, somebody's been off the field, and they've had to have a backup in there. And I think at one point on Sunday morning, they had 3 backups in, didn't they?
Probably, yeah.
And they had to move Brandell over from guard to center because Ryan Kelly went out early, and then they moved over. Who did they move over to take over for Kelly when he went out?
Was it Juergens?
Juergens.
Yeah.
And then Juergens went out. And so then they had to move Brandell over. So it was just like this domino effect of, like, all right, next man in. But the next man in is not what you want in terms of your offensive line, right?
Yeah. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves too much here. Still talking about the Steelers game. You've got some questions here that you put together before we recorded. Something about the Vikings, they arrived earlier than the Steelers?
Yeah, I think they did. And I think Kevin O'Connell, I don't have a lot to back this up. I only have one Aaron Rodgers quote that I did see. But I believe the Vikings arrived earlier than the Steelers. And I think Kevin O'Connell has kind of mandated this since he took over as Vikings head coach. I think anytime they travel internationally, he prefers to get there earlier rather than later. He does not like to cut it close, and I like that. I appreciate that.
Sure.
That's the way I am with my teams. We leave early for any of our competitions, make sure we get there with plenty of time. But Aaron Rodgers, I thought this was interesting. He openly criticized the Steelers organization for not getting them there sooner. He said something along the lines of like, yeah, if I were in charge, I would have gotten us here on Monday or Tuesday, and yet here we are and it's Friday and we just got here, or something like that. Like in a press conference in front of a microphone.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers is definitely not one to he's going to speak his mind.
He does not mince words. He is the GM coach on the field, and it's frustrating to watch as a fan because I don't know. There was a moment too in the game where Mike Tomlin wanted to punt on a 4th and 1. I don't know if you caught
he
that.
Was throwing the...
and he was mad about it. And finally, they kept the offense on the field. And I just thought to myself, like, man, must be nice to have that much influence. Like, you forget Mike Tomlin; he's not even the head coach anymore. Aaron Rodgers is, like Michael Jordan in the Space Jam. He's the player coach, and he does it all.
Although I do think. I don't remember specifically, but I think in that scenario when Rodgers was, throwing the field goal unit back on the sideline, I think it did make sense for the offense to stay on the field.
Agreed, but it was just frustrating to see this usurping of power.
Yeah,
we're just not used to seeing that as Vikings fans. Like even Kirk Cousins, who is arguably the best quarterback that we've seen play in purple. At least in our adult lives.
Yeah,
and who had the most experience and is older than Kevin O'Connell, or basically the same age as Kevin O'Connell. He never did anything like that. Like if Kevin O'Connell said, "All right, we're gonna kick the field goal," Kirk Cousins came off, and he might have, frick, dang it, might have, punched the bench in frustration that they couldn't convert, but. He never questioned his head coach.
Other than that one
Other
time.
than the Mike Zimmer. But I think that was different, too. I think there was more going on under the surface with that.
Yeah. So it took me a second to look it up. I couldn't remember if Kevin O'Connell, if this was his second trip over to London. I mean, it's Dublin, but similar. Or if it was his third. And it looks like the Vikings played in London in 2022. KOC's first year, and then not since until now. So this upcoming game will be his third game. But so he's been through it. Kevin O'Connell's been through it, and this is the Vikings' first loss.
They played the Jets last year, didn't they?
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So
they
whatever I just
Aaron
looked
Rodgers and the Jets last season.
So this is his third trip, and it'll be his fourth game this coming. Yeah, you're right. I totally forgot about that. But the Vikings hadn't lost in London, or I guess Ireland now, until this game, which, I mean, it's not like they've been dominant in all of those games that they played over there, but I think last year against the Jets, it did take a Stephon Gilmore last-second interception to really seal the game. But all that to say, Kevin O'Connell obviously has the experience of being the head coach, bringing his team over there. He's got a good travel plan, and definitely with whether he's done things travel-wise that have worked out, or just done things that he didn't want to do again. So I would trust him, and it almost worked out. The whole game, for the most part, was really frustrating, but they did start to mount a comeback, and it would have been a great ending of a great final drive, but they could have done it. Things were looking like, oh man, this is going to be another one where they pull it out.
I wasn't even rooting for the tie and going into overtime. I was rooting for the touchdown. There's enough time. And for a minute there, they had the timeout to spare as well. I'm like, hey, all right, we can do this. We can go down and score, and we can win this game. But unfortunately, it didn't happen. I have another question I wanted to ask you, because Carson Wentz took 6 sacks, or maybe I should say the offensive line gave up 6 sacks that resulted in losing 48 yards. I saw a stat that somebody posted on Twitter today that said something along, it was kind of like I think it was a Pro Football Reference sack rate stat.
Oh yeah,
did you see
I
that
saw.
one?
Did you send it to me? I think I saw it, though.
I don't think I sent it
Either
to you,
way.
but I saw it. We probably saw the same thing. Anyways, it said something along the lines of, like, the Vikings are currently, like, 3rd, 4th, or 5th, like, all-time in sack rate percentage.
Yeah, the 2025 Vikings are... Yeah.
And the 25 Vikings are kind of in this upper echelon of giving up the most sacks per snap, I think, essentially. And the other teams that are kind of in that upper echelon all had losing records. And the quote was basically saying, like, it's kind of hard to have a winning record when you give up this many sacks. So my question is, with all that as background, who's more to blame for these sacks? Is it this depleted offensive line, or is it Carson Wentz taking too much time holding the ball and not really having, a true quarterback's eye on the field?
So here's a classic Austin answer. It's both. Right now, it's evenly shared between the offensive line's performance and the last couple of weeks, Carson Wentz just holding on to the ball. So I watched the game with a few people, one of them being friend of the show Forrest, and friend of the show Brian. Brian is a Colts fan, and he experienced a whole season. Oh man, Evan that was a heck of a save right there. Evan almost overflowed his beer there. But yeah, Brian's Colts fan, and he experienced a whole season of QB1 Carson Wentz, and they almost made the playoffs, but I think Carson really crapped the bed in their final game that season and gave away their playoff spot. But the first thing he said, probably after the first sack, was, "Oh, get ready, Austin." Wentz holds on to the ball forever, and that kind of shattered the glass for me to now that's what I'm looking for. And Wentz, I don't know the exact statistics of how long he holds on to that ball, but it seems like he snaps the ball, stares down his first read forever, and then if it kind of opens up, then he'll throw it. Or he'll stare down that first read, and then once it's too late, then he'll kind of look towards the second read, and he's being sacked by then. He's a one-read quarterback, and he doesn't have the mobility anymore to be able to get out of the bind that he puts himself in. So I guess my initial answer was both the offensive line and Carson Wentz
Seems
are
like
to
you're
blame.
leaning Carson Wentz.
But I really do feel like, and here's why I said offensive line too. So I guess if I had to say one, right now I'd say Carson Wentz. But two, it's the offensive line, but for the things that we were saying a few minutes ago. They haven't had their starters in all together at all, I don't think. And their center has his fifth documented concussion in his career. At what point do you hang it up there? And it's just not great, consistent performance by the offensive line. And when you don't have that, I don't care who the quarterback is, they can't do anything.
Yeah. I'm going to put a little bit more on the offensive line.
Okay.
And it's not even on the play of the offensive line. It's just the injuries and the inconsistency. I am a little shocked, I will say, that Carson Wentz hasn't miraculously improved with the KOC magic that we've seen him work before with these quarterbacks. And I don't know, maybe it's just this familiarity that Carson Wentz has built with KOC through the summer and training camp and stuff. But we're not seeing this miraculous Josh Dobbs transformation. Oh my gosh, he could actually be a true starter in the league. We're not seeing Sam Darnold reformation like we saw last season, right? Sam Darnold was basically washed up, you're no good, you're gonna be a career backup, and now he's looking great playing in Seattle.
Yeah,
he's
there's
arguably one of the best quarterbacks in the league right now, one season removed from being under.
I think that's a little he's been playing really good.
I'm not the only one saying it. That's the thing. I'm not the only one saying
I'm not outright arguing with you because I haven't looked at his stats. I just know that Seahawks have been doing okay.
Yeah, and I'm not watching his games super closely either, but
they're currently playing as we talk. The Seahawks are, right?
No, they're not.
No? Oh, the Broncos. Okay, never mind.
I think they played yesterday.
Yeah,
and they
you're
won.
right. You're right.
But anyways, the point is, I'm going to put it a little bit more just on the injury alone. And it's, again, not the play of the offensive line. I think those guys are doing the best job they can in the situation they've been put in. Mm-hmm. But it just sucks when you've got a second string or a third string guy that's not supposed to be playing, doesn't have the chemistry with these guys. The Vikings have a lot of pre-snap penalties too. The Vikings are bottom of the league in penalties right now. And that just goes to show, like, you don't have that A team completely in there right now. And when you don't have that group in there, you're going to struggle with things like that. And your quarterback's unfortunately going to spend a lot of time on the ground. I would also like to add that J.J. McCarthy seems to hold the ball equally as long, if not longer,
from
than
what we saw,
Carson Wentz in the 2-game sample size we have of him in the NFL. So I'm a little bit concerned at the quarterback position right now for the Vikings, and that's not something that I was expecting heading into this season. I thought, okay, they solidified the trenches. This is great. We've got a young quarterback. Let's get him some experience. And we said all summer long, all through training camp, he just has to be good. He doesn't have to be great. He just has to be good.
Well, you have to be on the field in order to be good.
Correct. But even when he was on the field, he wasn't good except for one quarter.
Yeah, so far. It sounds very Josh Dobbs-like. To go back to Wentz really quick, at about halftime, friend of the show, Dustin Baker, tweeted, this was halftime against the Steelers. He tweeted and said, if you expect Carson Wentz to play quarterback... let me restart here. He said, if you expect Carson Wentz to play a quarterback nobody wanted until late August, then yeah, he's doing great. But if you expect Carson Wentz to play like a top 5 quarterback, that's just not a thing. And to your credit, what you just said about Sam Darnold a minute ago, the Vikings ended up getting arguably top 5 quarterback play out of Sam Darnold. And so everybody in the world, myself at the top of the list, totally expected, like, oh, Kevin O'Connell, he can do this. If you got a guy who's physically talented and not the dumbest person in the world, he's the quarterback whisperer. He can turn anybody into 2024 Sam Darnold. And that's not to say Carson Wentz is the dumbest person in the world. That's not directed at any one quarterback. But I think at this point, we're seeing a lot of adversity, and we're seeing maybe KOC isn't just this be-all, fix-all quarterback magician that we thought he might be.
I also would say, and actually before we start, our beers look really different.
They do. I just noticed this.
I noticed that, like,
you can see it on camera
10 seconds ago. Yeah, your beer is a lot darker, the second one.
Yeah.
My beer was exactly the same. So I wonder, did you taste it?
I haven't yet. I'm a little afraid. I mean, Gezellig is a really highly touted local brewery. Maybe I don't know, maybe I just got the bottom of one keg and you got the top of another. I don't know, because my first beer looked like yours does right now.
Well, if you try it and it's not good, let me know, because I've got some backup beer in the garage.
And if it's not good, again, any brewery is susceptible to random things that happen.
It could be a good beer. It's just could be
it smells fine.
Yeah. Is it as aromatic as the first one?
I think so. I don't know. We'll get this out of the way really, really quick.
Or maybe this is like the second part of your Purple Punishment. Or
I think it tastes...
Is it the placebo effect?
I think it tastes the same as the first beer did.
That's fair.
I think there's no off flavors. Definitely no like infected flavors or anything.
Austin's going to have to stay home from work tomorrow.
No, I think we're good. I think it might just be... Yeah.
I'm sick.
I mean, really, it does smell fine. I think it tastes fine. There's nothing weird about it. It just looks...
It
kind of looks like dishwater.
Well, no, it looks like a cider almost. Like it looks and it's kind of that time of year. Like it kind of looks like an apple cider or a hard cider kind of thing.
I think it's definitely the same beer.
Can I smell it?
Absolutely. Try it if you want. I think it's fine.
I think it's
All right.
Tastes the same.
Well, if you're interested in that little detour, go ahead and check out YouTube and watch us here at whatever minute mark we're at right now. Because, Evan's beer looks way different than mine, even though they're
the same beer.
The same. And it does taste fine, though, right?
Yeah,
you took a sip.
Yep. I mean, if you get sick, I'm going to get sick now. So,
well, I would get way sicker.
True. But we'll be all right.
All right. Back to the Vikings.
I would like to add this to this discussion because this is kind of this complicated multi-layer discussion of all these injuries that are happening, this quarterback situation that just seems to continue to nag this team and never goes away. Like the Vikings can't ever have a good quarterback, right? Mm-hmm. As he inspects the can that he just poured the beer out of.
It's all in my head. JJ's supposed to be the chosen one.
Okay. Whatever. All that aside, there was a lot of stuff that came out today on Twitter about, is KOC the right coach? He's a bad coach. He's not very good. He should get fired, right?
Oh, whatever.
And it was just like, no. And I'm pretty sure Dustin Baker had something to say about that too. I'd have to find it and pull it up. It's not time to throw in the towel on Kevin O'Connell. And is he the perfect head coach? No, we've known this. We've struggled with his clock management. Mm-hmm. Clock management was an issue at the end of the game against the Steelers yesterday. We know this about him, right? It seems like he struggles to get creative in situations when the game calls for him to get creative. He was down, was it 21 or 24 to 6?
Yeah.
They were down by a lot. Mm-hmm. I was frustrated. We got home from church, we turned the game on, and I was like, well, the Vikings are 2-2. That sucks. Mm-hmm. And there was kind of just no hope. And fortunately that changed, but even after I turned it on, it wasn't like me turning it on magically changed the outcome of the game, mm-hmm. and the Vikings just started playing better. It wasn't like that one time friend of the show Brian left when we were playing the Colts and we had the greatest comeback in NFL history. Yeah. It wasn't like that at all. It was like, no, the Vikings continue to suck. This is terrible. What is going on? And then all of a sudden there were a couple of good plays. Justin Jefferson caught a really good ball.
Jordan Addison had an 80-yard not touchdown.
Jordan Addison had that great catch that mm-hmm. should have been a touchdown.
With a better ball that Addison
he had to come back for it.
Yeah.
Which maybe says something about Carson Wentz's arm strength as well. But anyways, all of that to say, Kevin O'Connell not going anywhere.
No.
I think he's locked in for a while as the Vikings head coach. I think ownership and Kwesi, the GM, really have a lot of faith in him, and I think rightly so. Like, he really hasn't, other than the season that you're still concerned about that beer, aren't you?
I am, because why does it look different?
It's kind of like what I've done this whole episode. Like, why does this look different?
You're wearing blue too.
That's true.
Yeah,
this is like local. This is a Bix shirt. This is a Quad City classic, and I can't. Okay, so let me take a
We are everywhere today.
It's all right. Squirrel. Today was Jersey Day at school.
Yep. For my kids, too. It was.
Yeah, because it's homecoming week in our school district. And I put on this really awesome all-black Warren Moon jersey that I've worn on the show before.
I think I've seen this, yeah.
It was given to me by a coworker. Mm-hmm. And I was like, you know what? No, I can't do it. And I took it off before I left the house. Because the Vikings lost yesterday, man. And I'm like, I can't go to school wearing a Vikings jersey.
That's on you, man.
It is on me, but I found so my wife. I don't know why my wife has this. She has a Rams Kurt Warner jersey, and I'm like, all right, he was a good guy.
He's a fellow UNI Panther.
He played at our alma mater.
You wore a Rams jersey.
So I wore a Kurt Warner Rams jersey to school today instead of a Warren Moon jersey. But I'm standing on business here. I cannot promote this team that's 2-2 and that is like bipolar, right? Like, you just can't do it. You're the one sitting here wearing a Lions jersey right now.
I have to be.
That's a division rival. I wore a Rams jersey, Kurt Warner, that they don't even exist anymore. The franchise moved to LA.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I've got some thoughts, but I'll reserve them. Maybe it's this infected beer that I'm drinking. You are right, though. You said earlier the Vikings were down 24-6, and they came back.
24-6,
15 unanswered points.
That's crazy.
And if not for their own mistakes, could have at least tied the game at the end. Very frustrating. I think the Eagles, after 4 games last year, were 2-2 as well. You're not losing the Super Bowl in September, probably, but there's no way they're done yet. They can definitely come back.
What stat did I point out before we started recording?
I don't know. I've got suspicious beer flowing through my veins right now.
Point differential.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true.
The Vikings currently, not that this is the end-all, be-all, the Vikings, though, have struggled in point differential in recent years. The Vikings currently, through 4 games, have a better point differential than both of the Super Bowl teams from last year, including the 4-0 Eagles.
Well, there's one big reason why.
And it's the 48-10 win against Cincinnati. But I'm just saying, right? Like, there is a reason to have hope. Kevin O'Connell is a really good football coach. I have full faith in that. And between J.J. McCarthy, Carson Wentz, and God forbid Max Brosmer, and maybe he's the best one at this point. I don't know.
He's come save us, Brosmer. You're our only hope.
In those 3, I think we've got somebody that can come in and lead this squad. You've got some of the league's best talent elsewise. You've got Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson.
How about Jordan Addison, by the way? Not to keep derailing, I'll let you keep going, but when you're done, I do want to talk about
we already mentioned his almost touchdown.
Yeah.
Which was awesome. But he had a really good coming out game, and good for him for putting that behind him, serving his suspension, and all right, let's go. We need you, man. We need more weapons.
Yeah, absolutely. I was very impressed with Jordan Addison coming out and playing so well. Yeah, most of his stats on the stat sheet from the game are from that 80-plus yard reception. If that ball was just 2% better, he would have scored a touchdown. Yep. I do think they ended up scoring a touchdown on that drive, did they not? Either way. Oh, they did, because it was a short pass to, I think, Jalen Naylor.
Jalen Naylor caught it in the front corner of the end zone.
Yep. But even then, when that Jalen Naylor touchdown happened, it was still the point where I had given up on the game. So I don't even think I sang Skol Vikings. I was just like, all right, there it is. But yeah, Jordan Addison was a great addition to the team. Hopefully he keeps being a good addition. Should we just go into roses and thorns?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, Ev, what was your main rose coming out of that game?
We've already kind of circled around it, but I love the fact that this team still fought at the end of the game, and I think that's a Kevin O'Connell culture thing that he's built into this team as well. They got smacked in the face in the early part of this game, and there's that one famous scene of Aaron Rodgers. They tush-pushed on a 4th and 1 or whatever, and he's just standing there like this. They never even snapped it to him. He knew he wasn't going to, and then he just goes like this, first down, and I'm just like, screw you, man. Come on, this sucks. And, to be honest, I gave up. I turned the TV off. I'm like, well, there's the game, right? And walked away, and they didn't give up. None of those guys did when it would have been easy to do so, and it would have been easy to say, all right, we're down 24-6 in the late 3rd, early 4th, I don't remember which one, and say, well, we got to travel to London tomorrow, basically. Let's look ahead to the Browns. But they didn't. They fought, and I really appreciate that. And I think that says a lot about this team, and it says a lot about the culture that Kevin O'Connell has built. That's my rose. My rose, I gave it away a minute ago. Jordan Addison coming back, and not just coming back, but he played well. Yeah. In one game, in one catch, he has already doubled the production, at least receiving yards wise, Adam Thielen has given the Vikings. Jordan Addison, I think Vikings fans, again, myself included, we may be underselling him as a really good receiver. We know he's good. We know he's a first-round pick, but
if not for Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison would absolutely be wide receiver 1 on this team, and we would still be saying, hey, the Vikings have a really good wide receiver 1. I hope the Vikings, here in the next couple of years when his rookie contract ends up, I hope they find a way to move things around and be able to keep Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson, because look at the Bengals. They've got 2 number 1s there, and Jamar Chase, who is probably the second best wide receiver in football, and then T. Higgins, who's right up there as well. But yeah, I think we may be underselling Jordan Addison just because, he's the second best receiver on the team when he would by far and above be number 1 on a lot of other teams, at least half the league.
I've got T. Higgins in fantasy right now, and I would beg to differ.
I mean, stat-wise, but T. Higgins is...
He's a good receiver, and there's a reason I drafted him. Mm-hmm. But no, I like that a lot, and yeah, he's back. Jordan Addison, ready to go. We've got this two-headed monster at wide receiver, and I think Adam Thielen, we don't want to poo-poo on him very quickly because, number one, the dude took a pay cut to come back to Minnesota.
Don't get me wrong. I'm very happy Adam Thielen is on this team.
And I think his value is less on the field and more day-to-day in meetings, things like that, just mentoring these young guys. Mm-hmm. And Justin Jefferson has done a good job of that, I think, with Jordan Addison a little bit. But I think when Adam Thielen left, Justin Jefferson was kind of like, that's me now. I'm the veteran in this wide receiver room. I'm the one that these guys look up to. And not to say that he's done a bad job. He hasn't.
No, he's done a great job. Because even the league, the NFL itself pushes Justin Jefferson out there. Yeah. The same way they push Joe Burrow.
He's phenomenal.
All of these other high-level, high visibility athletes.
But I think you're going to see more value in Adam Thielen off the field than you will on the field. And I think it's worth it. I think the price tag that they paid for him to come back is worth it. I think for Adam Thielen it was worth it. The guy said, I never even sold my house in Minnesota. We lived in Carolina, but we were always hoping to come back, and as soon as it was made available, they came back. And I think it says a lot about him as a guy too. Carolina had no good reason to get rid of him, but they honored his request, and they're like, yeah, you're a good dude. We want to get you back there.
Didn't their GM basically say that?
Yeah.
Not to cut you off, sorry, but the GM said something like, well, the guy wanted to be over there. And it wasn't, well, he pouted his way out of here. It was like, he wanted to be there. So credit to the Panthers for doing that. So
we've talked roses. Your thorn has to do with that, though.
I did say, where's Adam Thielen? So even with the knowledge that we have now, knowing he's got 4 catches for 30-something yards total through 4 games, I would still say, yes, I'm glad they did it. I'm glad they brought him back. I'm glad that I would say do it again if they hadn't already done it. But man, it just kind of seems like when you have a team that through 2 quarterbacks now has shown signs of the quarterback struggling, looking for some help, some lifelines a little bit. When you have a guy like Adam Thielen who could easily just be like, oh, here, throw it to me. I'm open. I'm just going to do whatever I can to get open. And maybe he has been. Admittedly, I'm not watching Adam Thielen with a microscope with each play, and I don't know enough to know if he's, maybe he's been really helpful in the blocking game, helping the running. But it sure would be nice to see a few more explosive plays from the guy that we're all excited to be here.
Something I just looked up, I didn't know this until literally just now, but Adam Thielen has 4 catches. All 4 of them are first downs.
Oh, okay. Well, those are huge, though.
That's big, right? That's not just, he hasn't been unproductive. There are receivers in the league right now who have had negative yards for their team.
Yeah.
And he's not done that, right? He's only got 4 catches. He's played 4 games. He's got 4 catches, but he also has 4 first downs. Mm-hmm. Every time they've thrown him the ball, they've advanced the ball and moved the sticks, and that's important, right? And again, I think you're going to see the value of him more off the field than you do on the field. My thorn is these injuries, and not just the injuries, but that the injuries force Kevin O'Connell to put in these backup guys that don't hide his flaws very well, right? Like we know Kevin O'Connell is kind of this known quantity, really great hype guy. You know, the vibes are high in the locker room all the time, even after a loss. And I'm sure they were, you know, like I don't think he's like, you know, giving anybody the cold shoulder in the locker room after a loss to the Steelers like this. I don't think he's like cussing them out and, you know, telling them like, you're all terrible and you all should be ashamed of yourselves. I'm going to send half of you home on the plane right now. Like, I don't think any of that happened. But when you have this second team or third team talent in the game, it's tough as a head coach to hide your flaws behind that second shelf talent, right? Like, your clock management is now all of a sudden even more on display because you not only have to be on top of your game and get the call into the quarterback and all that, but you got to make sure these backup linemen know what they're doing. You got to make sure that on defense everything is flowing well. Like, I think the injuries are killing the team, but I also think it's kind of on KOC. Again, not to say that he's a bad coach, but I think he's got to find a way to work through these injuries and help this team find success despite the injuries, rather than just, well, we're hurt, so we're just going to be terrible for a while. That's not the reality that we can continue to live in. So that's my thorn.
Yep, it's probably the biggest thorn of the whole season so far. But just to run through it really quick, we kind of touched on this quite a bit earlier. But our segment 1 and segment 2 kind of morphed into a big old one. But I think it's still valuable to kind of list them out. So for injuries, the Vikings right now have Brian O'Neill, who it just came out earlier this evening that he had his MRI. He doesn't need surgery, but he's probably still going to miss some games. They haven't put him on IR, and I didn't hear anything about them planning to put him on IR, but I'd still expect a few games. Donovan Jackson, he had wrist surgery a week or two ago, and they said he should be back after the bye, so week 7 or something. Ryan Kelly, starting center, 5th career documented concussion against the Steelers, and it's a second this year. Like, he's already come back from concussion protocol from a different concussion earlier this year. He's good, but he's also like 32, 33. At some point, like, when do you hang it up?
Yeah, you just call a spade a spade.
Yeah, like, these it's your brain, dude. Yep. Like, but either way, he's probably not coming back against the Browns. I wouldn't expect him to. Andrew Van Ginkel, he had an injury, came back, and then now he's got some neck injury, which really is reminding me a lot of neck injuries are scary because we lost Danielle Hunter for a whole year over something that at one point Mike Zimmer, the coach at the time, said like, oh yeah, he won't miss much time. And then lo and behold, he missed the whole year. This was many years ago though. JJ McCarthy has that hurt little boo-boo ankle that needs to get healthy real quick. And if he's even 80%, I think you need to put him out there because to me, it's getting a little ridiculous, and my McCarthy leash is very short right now. Aaron Jones,
you mean Carson Wentz?
My McCarthy leash, I'm about ready to be like, all right, this is ridiculous. Like, put up or shut up and get out and let Brosmer take on the rest of the season.
So you want to see McCarthy in so that he can fail? Is that what you're saying?
No, I want to see him in.
Okay.
So that he can do what he's going to do. And if he's great, then yes, let's go. But if he's terrible, like it's been a year and a half now, and we've seen him in 8 quarters of football, and he's looked okay in 1 quarter. That's not okay. That's not good enough for me. And good for me. I'm a nobody, but not. You can't base your whole career on it for Kevin O'Connell and Kwesi. They're basing their careers on McCarthy right now, and they're being overly cautious. No, if he's okay, he needs to be out there so that he's going to do what he's going to do. Because then you can plan either he's good or he's not. Aaron Jones, I think it's a hamstring. Is that why he was on IR?
Something like that.
But still on IR. I think he's only missed
2 games.
2 games of the minimum of 4, but they haven't said like, oh yeah, it's going to be way more or way less. Like, I don't know. And then Blake Cashman, he may be the biggest piece other than McCarthy, because the defense runs through him. And they're still holding it together, kind of, but it's still kind of rough.
Well, we saw last week, not this week against the Steelers, but last week against the Bengals, you saw Harrison Smith literally move Ivan Pace Jr. over, and then Ivan Pace goes and gets a sack, right? Like, so if Blake Cashman isn't going to be out there, at least you have Harrison Smith, who may not be the green dot, who may not be the guy that's like literally calling the plays and quarterbacking the defense, but at least he will like, no, dude, you're in the wrong spot. Get here. Go.
He's the Hall of Famer on the field, yeah, for sure.
And that was such a fun play to watch, because it was like,
and then
yep, he moved him over, and then the ball was snapped, and Ivan Pace just goes right up the middle and gets the sack, and it was a beautiful thing. Granted, you're playing against a depleted Bengals team who doesn't look very good, but I don't know, if you're going to be without Cashman, at least the silver lining is you have Harrison Smith.
Yeah.
Right.
For sure. All right. Looking ahead to the Browns.
Do we want to do game balls? Really quick?
Yeah, game balls. I totally forgot about that. Yeah.
But quick game balls. I'd like to give one to Justin Jefferson. Now the new number 3 all-time receiver for the Vikings, which wasn't a big deal, but the Vikings organization kind of hyped it up in the week leading up to this game. All he needed was 5 yards to eclipse that. He had a really good game, though. 10 catches, 126 yards. No touchdowns, but if you look at the Vikings stat line, he has 326 yards and a touchdown to TJ Hawkinson's 115. Jordan Addison only played one game, 114. Jalen Naylor, 98. Xavier Scott, 63. Aaron Jones, 44. Adam Thielen, 37. Like, he just, like, nobody holds a candle to Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
Like, the dude is a national treasure. He's the best receiver in the National Football League. I don't care what the stats say right now. We're glad to have him. We hope that he continues to find success and stays injury-free. And hopefully we can get the guy in the end zone.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah, he has 7,758 receiving yards on his career as of right now.
And I don't know that he'll ever pass Chris Carter, but he's behind Randy Moss right now, right? For second.
Yeah, Randy Moss has 9,316 as a Viking. More than that, in his career, but as a Viking, just that. I believe that might not.
Pro Football Reference is kind of tricky to read that way. I don't know.
No, it as a Viking, 9,316.
Yeah. So there's a really realistic shot that Justin Jefferson, that is, eclipses Randy Moss, second all-time in Vikings history. I don't know. Unless I should not say JJ, because we have JJ McCarthy now. I keep correcting myself. Unless Justin Jefferson retires as a Viking and plays until he's basically 40 years old, I don't know that he's going to get to 12,000.
I don't know.
Plus
so
yards.
He's been averaging more than 1,000 a year. How old is he now? He's 26 right now. Let's just be optimistic and say he's going to play the rest of his career as a Viking. This is his This is his 6th year. It's not crazy to think, unless he gets injured a bunch, that he could play at least another 6 years. If he finishes with 8,000 yards this year, he needs to get basically to 13,000 yards in his career, because Chris Carter has 12,383. I think it's definitely doable. I don't think it's out of the question to think that Justin Jefferson could finish as the highest receiver in Vikings history, especially with the way the league works right now.
I'm going to ask ChatGPT. I'm doing it right now. This is what I'm saying. Based on historical data, will Justin Jefferson eclipse Chris Carter for receiving yards in Vikings franchise history if he finishes his career with the Vikings?
So right now, I just did the quick math. Justin Jefferson is 4,625 yards away from Chris Carter, just in receiving yards.
That's like 4 seasons?
I mean,
3 or 4?
The rest of this year and then another 4 seasons. So that's
5.
That's 5 years. That would put him at 11 years as a pro. I think, again, unless he gets injured, he could definitely do that. And he doesn't seem like he has any problem being a Viking. So I think it's well within reason to think that he could do that.
ChatGPT is taking a very long time to determine its answer here. So
Man.
we'll see. I'll let you know when it comes up, but we can move on.
So your game ball, Justin Jefferson. Mine,
100%.
Jalen Redmond. I think it was like the first
That's a
play of
good
the
one,
game.
too.
He got
Yeah.
a sack. He ended up with 2 sacks. I know Kenneth Gainwell, did rush over the Vikings pretty good. But I still think Jalen Redmond, especially after a game where it's hard to figure out who you're going to give your game ball to, he definitely gets one for that game. His story is really fun. Undrafted guy, spent a year in the UFL, I think it's called, and then came to the Vikings, and now he's definitely earned a lot of playing time. I'm a Jalen Redmond fan. I hope he's a Viking for a while. So yeah, game ball for that.
Here you go. ChatGPT agrees with you, by the way.
Okay.
It finally formulated its answer. It says Justin Jefferson is very likely to eclipse Chris Carter's Vikings receiving yards record within roughly 3 seasons, it says.
Ooh, that's...
It says 3.
I mean, if he gets like 1,500 yards a year...
Yeah, that's what it's saying. 1,500 yards a season, roughly.
Yeah.
For the difference of 4,625 yards, which is currently the difference between him and Chris Carter, it would take him 3.1 seasons. So ChatGPT is saying somewhere in 27 or 28.
So Jefferson averages 12,093 yards.
1,200.
Or 1,293. But that's assuming this year is already done. He still has time this year, too. Mm-hmm. So he could bump that average up a little bit. Yeah, I mean,
It's
3 to 5 years, he could be the highest Vikings receiver in yards of all time.
It's just not a possibility that I ever really considered until now. And like Chris Carter's 12,000 yards with the Vikings alone, like that's just astounding. And not to mention the fact that that guy was an Eagle before he was a Viking, Chris Carter, that is. And he was kind of a, like, I think like an alcoholic, drug addicted
There was something,
bum.
yeah,
like
yeah.
he had a lot of stuff going on, and he really turned his life around, and that's kind of a big part of his story. And coming to Minnesota and coming under the leadership of Denny Green really kind of changed the trajectory of his life. And now he's a Hall of Famer, and he's one of my favorite Vikings of all time. And
Chris Carter is, in every sense of the word, the best Vikings wide receiver of all time.
Agreed, 100%.
And I know Randy Moss exists, but Randy played a few years outside of Minnesota. But yeah, Chris Carter consistently was the best, and it would be crazy and awesome to say, like, yeah, I saw the guy that was better than Chris Carter in Justin Jefferson.
It would be awesome to say that. I'm hopeful for that day.
Yep.
Let's look ahead to the Browns now. You alluded to it a second ago. How are we feeling about the Vikings, Browns playing in London? Is it Tottenham or is it the other stadium?
I think it's Tottenham. I don't know.
It's
not a huge deal.
The field conditions in Europe have been terrible. It is at Tottenham.
All right.
Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Okay.
The Browns, not great. They are
Not great,
1-3. Not great, Bob.
Yeah, but they
beat the
play
Packers.
well. Who did they play this week?
They beat the Packers 2 weeks ago,
Yep.
which was awesome.
They played the Lions this week.
Yeah, they did kind of get stomped by the Lions. Which
34-10.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm so negative on the Vikings right now. I need to see JJ come back. And again, if it's just an ankle for me, unless it's broken, like, he needs to be out there. Like, he's a professional football player. Get the shot or get taped up the way it needs to and go play football like you're supposed to. He made the trip for a reason. I mean, if he had no chance of playing, I hope the team would have been smart enough to be like, yeah, you don't need to travel with us. Because, I mean, being in a plane, if your ankle's that bad, you probably shouldn't be in a plane for 8 hours or however long that flight is.
I feel like you're hyperbolizing a little bit there.
Maybe
I
a
don't
little
think
bit.
I don't think he made the trip over to London last year when the Vikings played the Jets.
That's a
did
good
they?
question. I don't know.
Did he? I don't think he did.
But he was on injured reserve, though. Like, there
he
was no
on
chance.
He was on IR, and Sam Darnold was playing so well that there's, like, really not even a chance that he was going to play.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, he, by rule, couldn't play at all.
Correct.
Like,
but
when
like,
they put him in IR...
Even if he
was
wasn't
done.
on IR, again, I think Sam Darnold was playing well enough that it's like, there's no question we're going to roll with the hot hand. Darnold's been playing well, and he proved everybody right.
Until
Sam
the end.
Darnold.
Yeah.
You know? Interestingly enough, this is my lock to win.
Yeah.
For the Vikings next week. I think they easily win this one. Now, I did say that the Vikings would win this one against the Steelers.
Yeah.
My preseason pick was a loss, so I avoided the wheel. But I did change course last week, and I said, no, I think, after this blowout win against the Bengals, the Vikings look good. The Steelers aren't that great. Now, I didn't know that Kenneth Gainwell was going to rush for what he did, and I didn't know that Aaron Rodgers was just going to stand back there like a boss and, get the first down without even having to lift a finger. Didn't know any of that. Didn't know that these injuries would just, like, resurface like an ugly whatever. I don't know what you want to call it. It was bad, though, like, and some of these injuries happened in the game, which were a little concerning, too. So I still think the Vikings take care of the Browns. I don't think the Browns are that good of a team. I'm going to stick with my pick.
All right. Well, do you have a score?
That's a good question. I'm going to think this is going to be I'm going to say lower scoring game. I'm going to say 17-14 Vikings.
Okay.
17-14. I think Will the Thrill has a really good kick in the game, a really good field goal.
Oh, they'd love that over there.
And 17-14, couple of touchdowns, maybe Adam Thielen, red zone touchdown,
Maybe.
Seems
to be about the only way he's going to get one.
and maybe Jordan Mason on a rushing touchdown.
All right. Yeah, so in the preseason, I predicted this as a win for the Vikings. So that's what the purple punishments will determine, even though I'm going to have to wear this freaking jersey again next week. I would have rather get shot by a Red Rider twice than wear this once. Can we make that happen? Can we make that deal? Anyways.
If the Vikings lose, we might have to.
So yes, my preseason pick, I said the Vikings would win. Oh, I'm way off that now. The wheels are falling off. What's the phrase? Our pets' heads are falling off.
Got no food. We got no jobs. Our pets' heads are falling off. Well, based on your preseason pick record, the Vikings can only lose 2 more games.
Yeah,
because you have them going 13-4.
Yeah, that was putting a lot of confidence in J.J. McCarthy, who apparently his ankle hurts, so he's not out there.
Don't forget the 2017 season, though. They went 2-2, and then they won a whole bunch of games and went to the NFC Championship game.
Yep, but they actually had a good backup quarterback then, not Carson Wentz. Yeah, I don't see... I'm not high on the Vikings right now. There's too many injuries. There's too much adversity. Maybe the ship will be righted at some point this year. Maybe J.J. McCarthy comes back and...
Don't get sucked into the blue.
Never.
Don't do it.
Never. I'd rather be barred from watching football than enjoy a Lions game. But yeah, I think right now the Vikings they're in a dark place right now, and it's going to be a couple of losses. So for me, my official non-purple punishments prediction is that it's going to be a loss. And the defense is still going to do okay. They're only going to allow like 20 points, but that offense, they might get a field goal, and it's just going to fall apart from there. So
20-3, is that your prediction?
That's it. That's what I got.
No touchdowns for the Vikings.
No, yeah.
Well, all right. Well,
something they only did 2 weeks ago against the Falcons. So
glad to know that you have a whole lot of faith in this team.
Not right now. Being a fan doesn't mean I'm not totally unrealistic.
You definitely ride the waves more than I do. Like, I'm just kind of like, all right, it's fine. We'll hang in there. We've been through worse. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Anything else about this game coming up, or are we just ready to get it over with?
I'm just ready to see some more football. I'm ready to hopefully see another Vikings win, and I want to be able to wear my Vikings jersey to school and not be
You could have done
embarrassed.
that. You could have worn it.
I know. One of my coworkers, she like interrupted my class like in the middle of doing something, and she poked her head in, and she's got a Randy Moss jersey on, and she's like, "Hey, look!" And I'm like, "Hey, I'm in the middle of something right here." She's like, "Yeah, but look!" And I'm like, "That's great."
She was probably looking for some camaraderie.
Yeah.
Someone else to share in the misery.
I didn't know she was a Vikings fan, honestly.
Yeah. Maybe she's not.
But like she's been in my room before, and I have this big Vikings flag that's bigger than this one in the back of my classroom, so she knows.
Yeah.
Like most people in the building know that I'm a Vikings fan, and a pretty diehard one at that. So, all right. Well, I'm excited to see this team play again. I may not get to watch the full thing because I'll have to miss some of it for church in the morning, but it is what it is.
I'll be watching the whole thing. Oh, we got some more views on our Tyreek Hill video.
Got a couple.
All right. Well, Evan, what'd you think of this beer? The backyard beer from Gezellig Brewing.
This beer is good, and I feel bad for you because I feel like if I were drinking a different colored beer poured out of the same can that my buddy poured it out of, I'd be like, I would put on a brave face and say, yeah, it's great. But I don't know. I got the positive end of the deal, I guess. I got the consistency in the color.
Yeah.
It's a really good beer, easy drinking, one that I would have, especially like with this hot weather that we've been having. Just refreshing. The hoppiness is good, citrusy. It's a session IPA, so it's not gonna like put you on your butt. I'm not gonna feel it. Like I'm not gonna be going to work tomorrow regretting the fact that I had a couple of these.
Yeah.
It's a good beer.
Yeah, everything the same for me. It tastes great. I mean, the first one that I had, the color was really nice and it looked really pleasant.
You had to have gotten like the bottom of the barrel.
Well, so that's the thing. Yeah, the
Kind of
color
thing.
of my second one is way different. But two things about that. It still tasted perfectly fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with this beer at all. I'm going to finish it. And if I had drank it out of the can,
You would never
the flavor would have been exactly the same as the first one. I would have never known that the color was a little different. So it has to be something about when that one was canned compared to when the other ones were canned. I don't think there's any issue with that. And even if, like I said, even if there had been, everybody's allowed to make a mistake sometimes, and we know Gezellig, we've had enough of their stuff to know that they do good stuff. So
Yeah, good beer. Plenty of beer that we've had of theirs, both at the brewery and cans that we've purchased from our local store. So
Yep. And I'm looking forward to having this one again. It's a really good one.
yeah, this is one that I could see you grabbing. Like, hey, we're gonna hang out. Let's grab some beer.
Yeah.
And you would grab this one, and we'd enjoy it.
Well,
on
and the
a
best part
Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, the best part for me too is like to get this kind of flavor from a beer that's only 4.8. Usually you need to have like 7%, which is fine. There's a time and a place for a 7-8%er.
Yep.
But there's also a time and a place for a 4 or 5%er. So yeah, this one for me, it's up there. It's really good.
Leave it to me for a cheesy transition, but there's a time and a place for a good Vikings podcast.
Yeah.
Isn't there?
Yeah.
Where can people find us if they want to listen to us more?
We are everywhere. So if you want to continue the conversation with us, comment on the YouTube video if you're watching on YouTube. I think you can also comment on Spotify, and you can listen and watch on Spotify too if you want. Podcast is everywhere you can find podcasts. And then obviously we are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all the socials. And don't forget to check out our website too. And we might still have a sticker here, but if you want,
I think.
yeah, if you want a free sticker, just go ahead and send us an email to theskolhop@gmail.com, and if you send us an address, we will send you a free sticker.
We will definitely do that.
And if it's a funny enough email, we might even read it on the podcast. So
Yeah, there you go. Well, I thought this beer was good.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the game against the Steelers wasn't as good as it could have been,
No, absolutely no. It was a loss.
I'm looking forward to better. And I don't know. This may have been one of the best episodes yet.
I can't agree because I'm wearing a freaking Lions jersey right now. But other than wearing the Lions jersey, I will agree. It was a really good episode. Great beer.
Skol.
Skol.